Hey, this is Nev from Snowboard Addiction. We're up here today helping people improve their riding. I am with a friend of mine, customer Philip Vaughan, and we've been discussing a technique that's really helped him with his snowboarding. So, Philip, let's talk about what you were just telling me.
Yeah, when I first started hitting the terrain park, I was intimidated by it, and I realized that the thing that made the jumps really easy for me was just taking some blue runs flat. So just going down flat, both switch and regular, it helped me a bunch because the easiest way to learn to jump was just take off flat, pull the board up so it's nice and level, and then land flat. And at the end of the day, it became really easy, just let the jump do the work. And typically what I was doing before when I was falling was I'd be taking off on a toe edge or trying to land on a heel edge too quickly. And it really helped just to take off flat, land flat, which meant I had to be able to handle the speed.
Okay, so what Philip's talking about is that when you're snowboarding, we're pretty much always using edge. You're using heel edge, toe edge, toe edge. But as you said, no one ever taught you to ride with a flat base.
Yep.
And you said that made a massive difference in your ability to ride, especially freestyle stuff.
Yeah, when I was first learning, the only time I was ever flat was on cat tracks, and I hated it.
Yep.
Because it was so tiring and it was so tenuous, like I was gonna catch an edge.
Yep.
But then, you know, learning how to just sort of learning to ride switch and then switch flat really helped a bunch.
So tell me, what do you do with your body when you want to ride with a flat base? What do you do differently?
It's sort of really important that I check my shoulders, that I'm nice and even. And on your video, when you ride, you kind of have like your front arm a little bit forward.
Yep.
And for some reason, that really helps. Like just kind of like pulling your arm just a little bit out here.
Yep.
It kind of keeps this super nice and even.
Yep.
And it makes it easy.
Yep.
When I ride switch, I'll have a tendency sometimes to be a little less even.
Yep.
And you'll catch it kind of catching.
Yes.
And then I sort of know to get nice and even and pull it there. So it's a nice, easy way to correct it.
Good. Okay, two things I'm going to comment on there is you're right on with the body position. If your body position is not even and balanced over your board, you will have a very hard time riding with a flat base. So if we'll say your upper body is twisted open like that, it's hard to ride flat base. If your weight is too far towards the heel edge, it's hard to ride flat base. So to recap on a good position is that your upper body and lower body should most of the time be in line, facing in the same direction, especially when you're trying to ride with a flat base. Head up, back straight, knees bent, weight in the center of the board. So when I say weight in the center of the board, both between the knees here, my weight is central, but also on the board here, my weight is central on the board. Those are all aspects that are going to help with keeping your base flat. The other aspect I wanted to comment on is you said when you started riding switch flat base, you'd feel that little catching where it catch, right? That's a very common problem for people not only riding switch but also riding in their regular stance, is they feel that it's catchy. That's a signal that something in your body position could be off. Something is not central and balanced. And if you can sort that out by bringing it back to a central balanced spot, the board should not be catchy. That's the little parts of your nose and tail kind of digging into the snow. As you get better at your both regular and switch riding, you should be able to eliminate that catchy feel. Is that what you found?
Yes. And every season I kind of start every year by doing that and just sort of get it straightened out. And I'll usually find my switch riding for some reason, it'll catch, and then I'll have to spend a couple runs just sort of getting it locked in and nice and level.
Yep. So give me a couple of examples of places you can practice riding with a flat base.
Any nice blue that's like no moguls or anything, just a nice steep blue, the steeper the better, but like even these nice little greens through here, you can do it. Yep. And then I like to hit a couple of jumps, just real simple, just like, just test it out.
So when you say a blue run, do you like kind of get up a ton of speed going flat and then slow down quite quickly? So
yeah, just kind of like see how much of the hill you can take flat.
Yep.
And then when you start to feel like maybe it's getting a little dicey, just go ahead and catch the edge.
Yeah.
But the goal is to go sort of as flat as long as you can without feeling like you're gonna catch an edge and whack.
Yeah, so what you can do on any run, get your speed up, ride flat base down the run, and then when it's too fast for you and that's enough, kill your speed with a big speed check.
Yeah, exactly.
And then do that again.
That's right.
So when you're trying to ride with no edge at all, you have to focus on riding with a base completely flat against the snow. And if you're with a friend or yourself, this is how you can tell whether you've done it. You look back at your path, and if it leaves that wide track in the snow like that one, that was the run I just took, That's how you can tell you are riding with a flat base, no edge at all. And then you said you can do it on some jumps and stuff?
Yeah, like when I hit the park, every season, the first time to hit the terrain park, it's always take off flat, land flat, not doing anything, just getting a feel for getting some air, coming down and landing it. Because again, it's been a year since I've jumped anything, and I just like to get a feel for having the board underneath me. And also, if there's anything wrong in my stance, I'll find it because you'll kind of feel it in the air. And so it's just an easy way for me to check that as well.
So that's really important on jumps. When you're coming into your first jumps, you should be taking off on a flat base. Whether you're popping or ollieing, it's going to be easier off the flat base. Being on the edge puts you off balance. And you mentioned to me something about people after the jump. What happens after the jump when people try to get on their edge too quick?
Yeah, it's like if you're not used to coming down and being kind of fast landing, because coming off the jump, you're actually moving pretty fast. And if that steepness is uncomfortable for you, then you're going to try to grab an edge too quick and you'll crash the landing.
Correct.
That's sort of like, that's when I learned that like, I just need to get comfortable riding switch flat really fast. And then those landings don't feel like anything because you're so used to it, you can just land it.
Let me comment on that. When you come into the landing of the jumps, if you can land with as much of your base as possible, you're going to have the most balance. Now, quite often some landings of jumps can be icy and rutty, and sometimes they have big kind of bumps in the landing. If you can land flat base right away and then slow down and get your control again, that's going to be the most safe way to learn different things on the jumps. And where's another terrain park feature that flat base is super important?
The boxes.
The boxes. I know you don't like boxes, but critically important to learn how to ride flat base.
Yeah.
So this is just a quick little tutorial on a skill that has really helped Philip with his snowboarding. And if you've never tried out riding with a flat base, this is something you can practice well before you even go to a terrain park. Feeling what it's like to ride fast, in control, with a flat base.
Thanks.
I'm Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.